So listen, I'm excited about what you got going this week. We got a little, apparently we have a little interview.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this week, Sounds of LA. I got a chance to interview John Gilkey. He's been performing for about 30 years. Wow. He's a long time. He started out as a juggler. Well, he'll tell you, but he started as a juggler. He's a long time clown with Cirque Du Soleil.
Right on.
One of their lead clowns and one of the big creative forces behind Iris, which is here at the Kodak Theater now in Hollywood. I guess it's the Dolby now.
Dolby, yeah.
So I'm excited. Let's kick it off. Sounds of LA.
Right on. Peace. Thanks for being.
The Sounds of Los Angeles.
This is Scotch with Sounds of LA. I'm here with John Gilkey. How are you doing?
I'm good, Scotch. Yeah, good to be here, bud.
Yeah, thanks for joining me in your backyard.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, huh? I'm a lucky guy.
So, the very first Cirque du Soleil show that I ever saw was QUIDAM in the mid-90s, and I'll never forget this incredible solo act where this guy comes out, white spiky hair, funny suit, and he's carrying a hula hoop, which he does funny stuff with it, and then he rolls it like a tire so that it starts traveling around the stage, around and around, and he just stands there with his hand out until finally it rolls back right into his hand and the crowd goes crazy. And I find out years later, that guy on that stage that night, that was you. And what strikes me now is that if you had asked me at the time if that guy on stage was a clown, I might have said no, because he didn't look like your stereotypical Ronald McDonald or birthday party red-nosed clown or your John Wayne Gacy. He didn't look like that at all. So obviously clown is a lot more broad than that. How would you define clown?
Well, that's always the question, and I still don't have an answer after 30 years. It's really complicated, I guess, for me, because it's a bit of a philosophy. In a nutshell, the clown it's a kind of comedian, right? But it seems to differ from most comedians in the sense that the comedy comes from the performer himself. It's very personal. For example, it's not observational comedy. It's very personal comedy. It's revealing comedy. I don't separate myself from what I play on stage. I guess I'm always trying to be as truthful as I can and find what's stupid about myself, what's completely messed up about myself, and reveal that on stage. And that's me. The people who I see as clowns tend to be those comedians who have a vulnerability about them and a humility. And so there's something both individual and universal that they reveal about themselves. There's also this sense of not belonging, that the clown comes from the outside, and a sense of anarchy as well, this desire to create chaos, to upset society. And often, or when it's best, I should say, the desire to upset society is actually a desire to rebalance a society that is out of kilter, and that the clown comes in to speak the truth when nobody else can. Like the court jester speaks the truth to the king. He might get beheaded for it, but that's his job, is to remind the king that he's a person and not just a ruler. So there's this quality of the clown who reminds us of our humanity, and that starts to sound really cheap when I say it like that, but when it's well done, I guess we forget about that part. But it's there. That part is there.
I guess it's not cheap if you don't name it.
It's better you don't name it. But it's true. I mean, when it's good, it's doing that. But boy, it sounds cheap. So maybe we don't have to use that, reminding us of our humanity.
How did you become a clown? How did you get started?
I just sort of fell into it. I mean, I started out as a juggler when I was a teenager. I thought it was cool. And I realized later it wasn't. I'd spent a lot of time practicing, trying to get girls, and then I finally realized this is not cool either. So I got into a circus pretty early on. I quit college and got into a circus that was based in San Francisco, a really good circus that produced a lot of really good performers and a lot of really top clowns, including Bill Irwin, who's on Broadway a lot now and has won a couple of Tonys. So I got lucky and I got into a circus, and there I learned you know, a broader base of skills. So in addition to the juggling, I learned the acrobatics and clown and mask and all that stuff. And it was while I was in the pickles that I saw my first Cirque du Soleil show, and I saw somebody. There was a guy named Marc Prue, and he was in the very first Cirque du Soleil show that came to the States, which was in Los Angeles in 1987. I saw that performance, and I saw this guy Mark, who was sort of a lead character. He wasn't so much a clown, I would say. He was a lead character who was more acrobatic than comic. But there was something about his performance and how it was integrated into the show, into the circus, Cirque du Soleil, that really turned me on. I thought, that's what I want to do. And then the fact is I can't do it very well, what he does, so I end up looking stupid. And then it's funny, and that sort of worked out in its favor. So it's by default that I'm doing clown. I guess that's the answer, because I can't do anything else, and everything I try to do looks stupid, so I look like an idiot, so I'm a clown.
For clowns, what do you think is the ultimate pinnacle? What's the ultimate platform for a clown?
Well, that really depends, you know, person to person. For myself, having the platform of Cirque du Soleil has been really quite brilliant. I've been able to perform live for over 3 million people. I don't even know now how many. And I was doing exactly what I wanted to do for most of that. Like, I had a lot of control, more than some at Cirque du Soleil, to be honest. I had a lot of control over what I was doing. And so to have that opportunity to do what I wanted to do, to share what I wanted to share in front of that many people, I don't know where else I could do that as a clown. Obviously, you could go onto TV or film, but it's not live, so that's something else.